guys, so you join us on the Bluebell complex, Peterborough, on Kingfisher Lake. Matty's with us, he'll be doing some filming. He's actually over the other side of the lake in this far corner. I've managed to get on swim 5. It's all short distance work, it's all lily pads for an overhanging tree, but I'll go through all that later. So it's probably the hardest, well it is definitely the hardest day ticket water in the UK by a long shot. You're very rarely going to be bagging up on here. I think in the last couple of days one fish has been lost, not even on the bank. So I've got 3 nights here, we'll see how we go. Hopefully I can snare one will do. See you later. Right guys, so this is the swim I've chosen. Swim 5. It's only a 25-yard maximum cast. Here's a corner swim. There's not a lot available, to be honest. I'm talking a bit quiet because obviously everything's going to be margin fishing here. So yeah, there was one swim free in the corner where the wind's blowing. I had to walk around. By the time I walked around, that was gone. This is about as close I can get to where the wind's pushing in, this side of the lake anyway. It just looks like an old swim, to be honest. I can see a decent amount of the lake from here. There's a fish stock in there. Yeah, I can see a decent amount of the lake from here. So the car is literally just behind me. So if need be, I can easily pack up and move. There's a nice clear spot down to the left, which I'm going to show you now, which is definitely one rod. Alright, so there is a big clear patch here. This is just to the left of my swim. Polished, clean, gravel. So that'll be the left-hand rod. It's literally probably going to be a D-rig. About 10 baits around it, that's it. 10 insector chucks. I'm going with the insector chuck in this water. There's a bit of weed in here. Another fish out there. There's a bit of weed in here, and I just think the insector chuck being more of a natural bait would do better. So Kieran's now arrived. I've been round and seen him. I've put the 2 rods out, found a proper spot now. 9 wraps. Done a big spread of boilies, put 2 Ronnie rigs over it. It's very silty here. When I'm bringing the rigs back in, they smell of silt. So I've kind of found it's very silty everywhere, but I've found like a kind of area that's a little bit different. It's a bit harder and it's sliding across easier, so I think it's clay. With my 3rd rod, I'm going to do something a little bit different to what I'd normally do. I am going to go in the water and my waders with a stick just round the side of this tree here. It's a lovely margin spot. I'm going to get out there now and see what it's like.
cameras shouting out. That's the guest appearance. Bruce the Whippet is here with me this week. Bibby dog. Yep, so I've gone up Chest High. Lovely, hard, gravelly sand area. Just the other side of that tree. All the snags are cut away, so it should be fine. I'm going to put some bait out there and drop a rig in by hand. Right, so this is going to be the rig of choice for this session. It's going to be the D rig with a boosted insector chuck bottom bait or bank baits. The reason I've chose this rig, it is one of my favourite rigs anyway, but I'm normally using the chod style hooks now. This is the curve shank. There's a good reason for that, because the last time I was on this complex, I caught Dave, the biggest fish on the complex, out of Swan Lake, not Kingfisher, on this exact same pattern of hook, exact same rig. I'll go through that later with you on the story of that. So yeah, the reason I'm using insector chuck, it's designed for these types of waters, these hard waters. Now, it's not going to mean I'm going to catch by any means, because this is the hardest lake, day ticket lake in the UK by a long shot. In fact, there's only one fish that's been lost in the last 2 days, actually to a swim next door. So yeah, but this bait, obviously it's got the insect scent in it, but it's also got a subtle smell. It's not in your face, the colour's dark, it's just a real subtle bait. So I've gone with this on all three. So I've also got some paste, so I'm going to wrap them all in paste. That will slowly break down, leave a little scent around the hook bait, and it'll literally be plop it in to where I want it, and then maybe 10 baits around each one. That's it. We're fishing for a bite if we're lucky in the 3 days. So I'm gonna get it all on the rods and get them out. Oh, this is what it's looking like with the paste wrapped around it. Looks a bit brutal, caveman style. But yeah, all of that will break down around it. Leave a nice little tiny patch of insector chuck scent. The boosted bottom bait there. So, yeah. I've got a good feeling it's going to do the business. Come on. Right, so that's all the rods out. Went out on nice clear spots. Nice like sandy, hard sandy spots. You could feel the spots, and then just pulling another half a rod length, you're coming into deep silt then. So they've all gone out nice. As you would have seen how I've put them out, there's one I could literally place by hand, so I was getting it as close to the lily pads as I could, sort of dunking the lead, just making sure it was clear and hard down there, and then that was it, leaving that. A few boilies over the top. And then the other two I've done with the baiting pole, with about 10 old boilies and a few crushed up, a few just crushed with the hand. So that's it, that'll be them. These rods will be left now until tomorrow lunchtime, I would have thought. Probably I'll need to go and get some water, probably got enough just for some coffees and that in the morning. So yeah, as for shows of fish, just seen a couple of shows, but just right in the middle, not bang in the middle, where there's no lines. You have got borders, it tells you on each swim how far you can cast. Mine's a corner swim, so I haven't got far to cast. It's only 25 yards, mine is. And then I think along my bank and then the opposite bank to me is I think the same, 25, 30 yards, something like that. And then the adjacent ones I think it's 90 yards, which doesn't take you to the middle, or quite to the middle anyway, so I think that's what's happening. The fish are just coming into the middle, but I do know on this lake that they do come into the edges, into the margins, in the night time and in the morning, first thing. And bite time is first light until about 10 o'clock, I think. And after that, usually that's it. So I shall wait till about 12, have a reel in, have another evaluate on what I see in the morning, because I'll be up 5 o'clock probably. I think it starts getting light about 5:30, 6. I'll get up, have a coffee, just watch the water and see where they're showing. I think most swims are taken on this lake, to be honest. People might be going late this afternoon, don't know. So yeah, I'll reevaluate and see if there's a move. The wind's changing direction very slightly tomorrow for a short period of time. I think 3 or 4 hours it says, which will blow the wind into my corner. Yeah, and then I think it swings around again over towards Matty's corner, and that's on Thursday, but we've only got till Friday, so it's whether do you have the balls and stay in that swim and wait for the wind to turn. Then it'll be up to Matty to see what he does. Carp generally like to get on a fresh wind, so that would mean sticking it out right to the end. So yeah, I will reevaluate tomorrow and then see. I might move swims, I might move lakes. At the end of it, I want to try and catch a fish. But we're on. This is probably the hardest lake in the country, and then you've got the other Swan Lake, which is hard again. I'll tell you a story about that later on. And then you've got San Martin, which is still another hard lake. The two easier lakes are Bluebell and Mallard. But this is probably the hardest lake. I haven't actually seen a fish. I've probably done 5, 6 nights on here previously, probably about 10 years ago mine, but yeah, and I haven't seen a fish in the flesh out of this lake. So yeah, it's not an easy lake, which is why I've gone with my baiting approach of just a little tiny scattering, just fishing for one bite, that's it. I'm not trying to attract a feeding frenzy. I'm not spawning out loads, I'm not putting out loads of bait, just putting out 10, 15 boilies on each rod, and that's it. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I'm not overly confident at the moment because I haven't really seen nothing in my area to warrant it. But like I said, I think be able to know more by the morning of what's going on. So I won't be touching any rods now, that'll be it for me. So I'm just hoping that everybody has, there's already one bloke spotting now over to by Matt, so I'm just hoping that that's what happens. Generally on day tickets you'll have late afternoon towards evening, you'll have everybody start spotting. But if I just keep it nice and stealthy, I've even set my bivvy as far back in my swim as I can, so I'm away from the water. So everything's nice and stealthy, all the lines are pinned down. They're sort of semi-slack, but probably the last 10-15 feet probably pinned to the deck. So everything's nice and stealthy. Small beds of bait, that's it. See if we can pinch one. I'll be happy with one. Yeah, so I'll keep updated, and I'll tell you about that good story later on, maybe tomorrow. Through the coffee, oh, nobody's business, making myself a little molehill. So this is how I make my not instant coffee, my ground coffee. So the water goes in the bottom there, then there's coffee bean in the middle there, and then the water, when it's heated up, gets siphoned through the coffee bean into the top container here, and that's where you get your coffee out. Right, so I'm going to tell you about my last visit. That's hot. My last visit to this complex. 6 years ago to the day. Not to the day. Near enough 6 years ago. Sorry. Early September it was. I think we're on the 29th now or 30th. So yeah, I was doing a bit of a campaign on Swan Lake. I think I'd done 18 previous nights before this visit that I had planned. Every time I seemed to turn up, it was always high pressure, or you just can't get on the fish. So anyway, this one session I turned up. I turned up midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, and I was planning on staying through to the Monday. Going home on the Monday morning. So I managed to get a swim, which is opposite the road down to Swan. Whoever's fished Swan Lake will know what I mean. So you've got the road alongside Swan as you enter Swan Lake, and you've got some swims there that are quite steep on some platforms, and the opposite side you've got like a gradual sloped bank. So I was on the opposite bank. I managed to find a clear spot at about, I think it was like 12 wraps, 11 wraps or something like that, near enough halfway. And I was on the Nash Key Cray, I think at the time, and water snail. So I found a spot and I was using the bait boat, and I was boating out, I think it's a kilo hopper, and I was boating out like 2 to a rod, say. And the first night, I think I had 2 fish. One was 30 something. And yeah, so it was a 30 something, I think it was 32. And then I had another 20. And then it got towards the weekend and it started getting busy again. And I was talking to a guy who was next to me. This was the Saturday I was talking to him. He was leaving on the Sunday, only 24 hour. He was telling me about how he caught Dave. It's the biggest fish on the complex. The fish actually goes 60 now. He was telling me about Dave. And then he left then on the Sunday morning. The wind had actually turned around to a southerly, southeasterly. So it was blowing in the corner of the entrance, basically. The entrance to the driveway up to the lake. So I was going to move. The fish was showing everywhere down in that corner, and I started packing some stuff up. There was only one swim free there. Everyone had sort of bunched up in that corner. So I started packing the stuff up, and somebody had jumped in the only available swim. So I was like, fucking hell, missed the chance here. And I thought, there ain't nowhere really else I can get close enough to the fish, so I'll just stay put. And that night, it was just after 12, the rod ripped off. On that side, it's quite shallow for 20 odd yards or something like that, and then it slopes right off. So if you do hook a fish, you've got to get in the water with your waders to land it. Anyway, the rod ripped off about 12:30, something like that. I played it for a bit. It was a vicious take, to be fair. I played it for a bit, but it didn't take any long, I don't think. So I've gone out with the net, lifted the rod up, netted it, and I couldn't really properly see. Lifted the net up and thought, what the fuck? And I lifted it up, and I knew, but as soon as I showing the head torch down, I knew exactly what fish it was. It was Dave, and I was like, oh my god. I'd only had a 30 a few days before, and now I've jumped from a 30 to a 53. That's what it weighed, bang on 53. I'll show you some pictures now. Paul will put some pictures on. The pictures are terrible. There was nobody around me, so I couldn't take any photos. I didn't have any sort of tripods or anything at the time, so the pictures are terrible. But yeah, I couldn't believe what had happened. It was one of them moments in your angling career, or your angling life, where you just think, wow, what the hell. So yeah, I ended up getting in Carp Talk magazine for it, and yeah, I believe that Dave goes 60, or has been over 60, but yeah, 53. And it was weird, I was only talking about Dave the day before, with that guy next door. So yeah, it's just, and obviously the move, if I'd have moved, I'd have never caught him. So just one of those moments from the carp gods, and yeah, I'll probably never beat that in my life as a UK PB. But yeah, it was awesome, mega. So yeah, that's why I'm on Kingy now, just trying to get hopefully a 40 common. I've never had a 30 common, to be honest. A PB common would be nice. So yeah, 30 or a 40 common would be lovely. But yeah, what a moment that was. So yeah, just keep at it. Oh, and actually what had happened is Nash actually sent me out the Siren bite alarms I've got now. I don't know what they are, R3s or something like that. Sent me out a full set for free with a receiver, so that was a bonus. But yeah, Carp Talk magazine, I felt like I was famous. But yeah, it was awesome. So I thought I'd just run you through this new lead clip that I'm trying for the first time. It's the Nash Run Clip Pack. The reason I'm showing it here is because I'm so impressed with the idea. I think it's such a great idea. So what it is, it's a fixed lead system that enables you to fish with a running style rig at the same time as it being fixed also. So it's a brilliant idea. So look, here we go here. It's got a funny shape to it, and there's a reason for that. So you imagine that, the fish completely running, look, the rig can pull. Look at this trick, as soon as there's tension, it's a fixed rig. I think that is absolutely brilliant idea, look.
running rig. So that fish cannot use that lead to eject, but then as soon as you make contact, bam, it's fixed and you can drop your lead if need be. So I've put that rubber on really tight, so you can put it on like that, and if you want, so look, running, fixed, bam, look at that. That is a brilliant idea, don't you think? And it comes in silt, which I've put on here because I'm fishing over silt, and I've also gone and bought the green. So I just thought, me personally, I thought that's a brilliant idea, because I'm always torn between fixed rigs or running rigs. I know they've both got their pros and cons, but fixed rigs are nice and easy to use, but you can, I think I'm losing fish because I'm getting a and then it's shaking and I've been done. But with this, I don't think I can be done. And also these are great for zigs, because you can, perfect angle for your zigs to come up. So yeah, there you go. That is the new Nash Run Clip Pack. What an invention that is. Brilliant.
Right, so as you can see, the wind's absolutely hacking into my corner now, into my swim. And this is due to stay like this till tomorrow morning. So yeah, it was going into the opposite corner, not the opposite corner, sort of that direction. And yeah, it swung round as the forecast said. So I've been resting the swim for the last couple of 3 hours. So I'm just going to set the rods up now and get them set up for the night. I think we're on about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock now. So I'll get all the rods in, get it all set up. Same tactics as yesterday. Just a few boilies around each rod on the insector jock. Same spots, and hopefully the wind brings them in. Right, so that's the end of the vlog from Kingfisher. Unfortunately it's on a blank. The swims that we're in, to be honest, there's been I haven't seen a fish in my half of the lake since I got here. And I'm only on a 25-yard maximum cast swim. Matty on the other side of the lake, he's the same, 25 yards maximum, but all the fish are sort of congregated in the middle, which is normal when it's high pressure. They have drifted sort of up towards Matty on the odd occasions, but not in numbers, and not enough for him to do anything with his restricted water. So that's what it's like on my bank and Matty's bank. He restricted 25 and some are 40 yards. The other two banks, you can cast 70, 90 yards to the middle, and they're the ones that are catching. Now what I would say is it's also a members lake here, I believe, so you can pay an annual fee, come as much as you want, like a syndicate. And we noticed the pegs that are becoming free that you can get to the middle of the lake, they're already taken when the other members are leaving. So my inkling would be they've got like a bit of a group, or they're texting their mates and saying, I'm leaving now, if you're coming, jump on this swim or whatever. That's what I think is happening, because since I've been here those swims have not become free at all. So yeah, so I'm not going to be disheartened about it. I had the same over in Swan. I think I did 18 nights to be honest, without a fish there, but the rewards are here, so you just got to keep looking at it. If the fish in here, you can't catch them basically. So that's it. So yeah, until next time, see you later. Now that's not carpy this time.